my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need read for this full moon in Taurus to new moon in Sagittarius, November 2022? That is a mouthful. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 24 and a half years in service. Drawing the Circle Productions at the cross quarter of Samhain happening on November 7th, and then the full moon the next day on the 8th. We'll talk about it. I'm the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box. You can preview it for free, and you see some of what I learned over a bunch of those years through Drawing the Circle, the grace that keeps me alive, etc., etc., etc. I am also a creator on Patreon because I am a busy witch. I love my Patreon. It's a members-only subscription platform. I set my own levels of subscription, the benefits that they get. All of my subscribers get a daily unlisted YouTube live stream link from me. So we can chat in the morning over coffee. I do it from the couch, doing it from the laptop, talking about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, ending with a little blessing to send us on our way for the well-being of all. We're also doing Zoom classes and workshops and tarot parties over there that are exclusive, and they are recorded. So all of my subscribers get to participate even if they want to watch it later. Really, really digging that, honestly. Best career move I ever made. So if you want a deeper experience, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon. Trust me. I'm the Archangel of Lyons. Angelo Lyons. I'm not allowed to lie. But you could just call me Mal. It's true. I took vows. What do you want? But at least to pagan gods. They're way more fun, in my opinion, but you do you. Let's get down to business, shall we? If you are new to my channel, 8-card draw is just one card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline, like card of the day, but 8 of them over a 2-week period, in this case a waning moon, from the full to new November 2022, so that you can do the shadow work, the releasing, the letting go, the cleaning of the slate, so you can nail that new moon in Sag. Let's have a quick look. Full moon in Taurus. Now, like I said, Samhain, 15 degrees. Sun will be 15 degrees Taurus. The day before that is the astrological cross quarter of Samhain. Halloween's 31st. Got it. Samhain. That's the day I do it. And there's a whole lot I'll be releasing for that on Patreon and elsewhere. And then the next day, not for nothing, full moon in Taurus on November the 8th, 6:02 a.m. A total lunar eclipse. That should be fun to wake up in. I'm definitely going to be doing my magic after midnight, I have a feeling, on that one. And then it's the letting go, the releasing, the alchemy from shadow to light, lead to gold. Lead has 3 more atoms than gold, the releasing, the transforming, to the new moon in Sagittarius, Wednesday, November 23rd, 5:57 p.m. So you could really do something lovely on a Wednesday night, the day of Mercury, with a day of mutable fire, planting a seed of fire. That could be really cool. So it is a general read. You take what resonates, you leave what doesn't. You check the other signs if you feel so intuitively drawn to get more information about this one aspect of waning, releasing, forgiving, dissolving, reducing, what have you. Or maybe you got 4 different areas of your life, like 4 different petals on the same flower that need that. But as you adjust one, they all tend to come along because it's all one holographic field of unity, blah, blah, blah. So both feet on the floor if you can. And focus on your breath if you will, including the cross watchers, because if you apply this information, inspiration, divination, whatever you want to call it, to yourself, you will get some gold out of that lead. You will do a little bit of that alchemy or a lot of bit of the alchemy, and you won't just be doing that for yourself. You'll be helping the Gemini you are cross-watching for, as well as the entire Gemini collective, because there's only one of us incarnate, except for that damn illusion of separation. So both feet on the floor if you can, and focus on your breath if you will, and I will do my best to help you shift your timeline less from lead and more into gold for yourself, and bring the planet along with you so it's just a better place to incarnate. I think that's enough. Please take a nice deep breath. very adamant about planetary ascension. Apparently, you do you. Still point. And here we go. Using the Caroline Mace archetype deck. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers watching this video and receiving this reading. Please, what is their dominant 8th chakra archetype hovering over their head for a reason, a season, or maybe their entire lifetimes, giving them the opportunity to alchemize a soul power from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace. This could be they're dealing with. This could be somebody they're dealing with has this archetype, reason, season, or lifetime, but affects the electromagnetic dynamics of all their chakras, what they attract, what they repel, so that they can do this shadow work of their own free will. This full to new November 2022. The Storyteller. Oh, excellent. Cool. Well, all archetypes are neutral, so Storyteller sounds lovely, right? Little, the Poet's Corner at Borders Books and Music. 90s flashback. This is really... all archetypes are neutral. This is the creative family archetype. So let's look at the shadow attribute, which is the lead, indicates the shadow work. There's a wonderful link to a video in the description box. I'll scroll down a little bit. The Shadow Effect featuring Debbie Ford. It's like a documentary like The Secret, but for shadow work. Really good introduction. I highly recommend it to people. So the shadow indicates the lead, the light indicates the gold. You heal this for you, you're healing it for each other if you're cross-watching, and you're healing it for the world. You ready for this? The shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. Just let that percolate. Making up tales that harm others on planet Earth at the time of this recording, which is not a timeless, it's a timed recording. Come on. Liar, pants on fire. The light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. I mean, that's what tarot card readers do, right? We translate this intuitive, spiritual, mystical hoo-da-doo-da energy through our nervous systems and using a language of symbols and stories. This is one way that this creative family archetype can work. The stories you tell yourself. The stories, I mean, you could totally go like Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now, right? That way, just watch the mind and the stories that it does. The egos the story tells versus the truth the soul tells, and the personality's got to choose, right? Very creative, all sorts of different ways. But whether you are dealing with this yourself or with somebody else, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, just imagine cleaning up that energy a little bit in yourself and seeing it shift in the outside world. Considering Gemini, just saw that, thank you, 3rd house, self-expression. Yeah, very 3rd chakra and very 3rd eye. So let's move this down to the next 4 chakras with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Crown, 3rd eye, throat, heart, spiritual, mental, willpower, choices and decisions, and emotional power. This is where the shadow work begins. You have the free will to do it or not, to delay what cannot be prevented. As my guides keep saying, you don't have to do this now. We love you. Do you want to do it next week, next year, next life, 10 lives from now? You're going to do it eventually. I'm like, okay, fine. I surrender. Let's do it. But you got to feel it to heal it most times. So let's see what's going on in the inside world, the feminine energy, the creative level of power, your creative intuition, the inner world, the yin dynamic. Please take a nice deep breath. I'm verbal. Ears ringing for you. Still point. So I call upon my goddesses of air, the sign of Gemini, powers of the East, please, beloved, bright, wise ones, one card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of? Heart, third eye, crown, internal dynamic, where, no, that's not it, where all of this shadow work begins, alchemizing this storyteller archetype from shadow to light, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, lead to gold. This full to new November 2022. 7 of Cups on the inner. Now let's talk about this. There's a keyword on here, jealousy. Maybe, maybe not. With a storyteller that's fueled by jealousy is a horrible situation because we're dealing with the deadly sin of the third eye, envy. Carolyn Myss, Defy Gravity, wonderful book. That's her archetype deck, MYSS. She's a PhD. This is that Seven of Cups. Things may not be so very, very clear emotionally on the inside. You know, you get Seven of Cups on the outside, it's different. It's like, oh, these different options. This is inside. Certainly, the woman in this card is not having a good evening, right? They're actually like champagne glasses and wine glasses, right? But definitely, jealousy as an emotion can be a very, very strong intuitive sign that what you actually want is in the future. And often it is the rampage of the inner child that goes, well, they have it, when's it my turn? Stuff can go back to childhood. So be careful of the stories that you hear and the stories that you tell, because if you get that, I would say this is heart chakra, right? Water, cups. You're not seeing things clearly, and that's okay, because no one who's jealous sees things clearly. That's why envy is the deadly sin of the third eye, cleared by the grace of knowledge, sacred knowledge, and the grace of clarity. And my buck words of grace, but also Carolyn Myss. It's where I learned it from, but my experiences are my own as a mystic. So what are the stories being told here that have you, maybe over this 2-week period, if it has not happened yet, that are shaking you up emotionally in terms of your emotional options? Because I think cloudy or clear, the Seven of Cups often speaks about, you got to pick one of those cups. Which one? If you wanted to, because I'm so thirsty and I'm surrounded by water, right? It's like you got to pick one to focus on. And yes, often it leads you to the Eight of Cups, a walking away from or deeper into your own emotional state to achieve the Nine of Cups, that balance, that harmony, that wish fulfillment on the inside, and then the Ten of Cups, the ecstasy of it, the full cycle. So there is something very psychological about the stories that you tell. Perception is not always reality. The sun does not rise in the east and set in the west if the planet Earth turns on an axis, and it does. Okay? So just because it looks true, don't always believe the story, right? Making up tales that harm others. Oh, gee, no, that's not happening. Except everywhere on planet Earth, it seems. So if we can deal with that in our own personal life, that has an effect on the quantum of it all. Please don't make me do math. Lower 3 chakras, the outside stuff. Either looking at the Gemini and Crosswatcher from the outside in, looking at them, the physical world, maybe them looking from the inside out at different people, places, and things. Root chakra dynamics, the relationships in the world in terms of groups, tribes, circles of friends. 3 or more, it's a tribe. Second chakra, relationship to another person or thing, money, sex, power, substance abuse issues. There's a lot that goes on in the second chakra, creativity, sexuality, vavoom. And you got to create a family archetype, so we'll see if there's a strong second chakra vibe there. But solar plexus is, I think, incredibly important because it's your relationship to yourself in the world, your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your gut intuition. When your gut goes, it means right in that moment you are being challenged on a loyalty, honor, integrity issue. You're crossing one of your boundaries that you really don't want to cross. Please take a nice deep breath. Like lying, making up tales that harm others. As I call upon my gods of air, sign of Gemini, powers of the east, tricksters that you are. I hear you back there, Hermes. Please, one card in clarity for the beloved Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs of Crosswatchers. Watching this video, receiving this reading, what do they need to be aware of in the masculine energy dynamic, outside looking in, inside looking out, lower 3 chakra relationship in the world dynamic, so that they can alchemize this storyteller in the 8th with those 7 of Cups. They have emotional options here. And one of those emotional options is to key their car because they're jealous or something of that nature, right? To suppress it. There's an option, all sorts of things that they can do, but there really is a a sense of strong intuition here that one of those cups is going to, well, quench their thirst. May they never hunger, may they never thirst. So what do you got from outside looking in, inside looking out for the Geminis and their cross watchers? This full to new November 2022. The High Priestess, and you ain't talking about it either. The High Priestess, this is the mythic tarot based in Greek myth. So we have Persephone underground, right? As queen, the wife of Hades. Our Lady underground, thank you, the magicians. Whoever wrote that in just made my day, my week, my month, my year. It's good. Our Lady underground, Persephone. The High Priestess who stands between, I don't know, a dark pillar and a white pillar. That's why I have those covers on them, right? Because in this position, kind of channeling it through, I am the High Priestess, whatever, not gender specific. This is about secret and safe. This is about deep intuition. This is, when it's a major arcana card in a reading like this one's not. This feels very heart chakra, but also there's some third eye element in there intuitively. This is all three chakras, a major arcana. So, you know, you have the opportunity to balance mercy and severity. Look it up in the Kabbalah. There it is. You have the ability here to really intuit what's going on. So if you are being lied to, really pay attention to your lower three chakras, right? And, you know, every day is a winding road. We all have our way of learning the energetic language of our chakras, but I highly recommend by Carolyn Mace, Anatomy of the Spirit. She doesn't do audiobooks. She does lectures and classes about the book she wrote because she doesn't want to read into a microphone. I get it. But the book is amazing. Highly recommend it. It is a classic, and it's really made all the difference in my life as a healer, as a mystic, and as a witch, for surezies, and as a teacher. I'll say that for sure. So you're keeping it secret, but you're keeping it safe because you're keeping it sacred. Moving this into gold now is not the time to be storytelling or believing everything you hear. I think that's true of everyone on planet Earth, by the way, but you are third house. You Geminis are outrageous, and truly, truly, truly outrageous. Third house, outrageous. We got your chakras on the table. Yeah, there may be lies, illusions, deceptions, and delusions here, which can make someone incredibly jealous. I mean, social media alone, right? Like as if Instagram, right? If you had to sign a document saying that everything you posted was absolute, authentic, and truthful, there would be no Instagram. Just as an example, and I love Instagram. Place to put my kitty pictures and my Halloween outfit, the Marquise de Mal. So let's get a Macron healing mantra, because you're mutable air. You can really change a lot by changing your thoughts little by little over a 2-week period. Please take a nice deep breath. Choices. As I call upon the ascended masters of creativity, because we've got a creative family archetype here, but particularly because we're looking at a silence of expression, but a deep intuition here in an emotionally charged shadow read. So they gotta feel it to heal it. They gotta feel what they're feeling, but they don't need to tell anybody about that. So please, ascended masters of how they create their way through this. With the storyteller archetype, there's somebody else's reason, season, or lifetime, the perfect healing mantra to help them do the shadow work of the storyteller in the 8th. 7 of Cups on the inner, High Priestess on the inner, this full to new November 2022. Opening my mind, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. Third eye, third eye. Third eye, gotta say it 3 times. It's the third eye, Ajna, the servant. But sometimes the servant acts like the master and we just start believing whatever the mind scripts. And thoughts are electromagnetic wavelengths, just like microwaves, just like cell phone waves, are just the element of air, that's all. So you can change your mind as quickly as you change your breath pattern, right? But you have to be what? Aware of it. That's why in meditation, so much meditation is focus on the breath. I'm going to read it from Matt Kahn, but this makes total sense. I'm just going to say, whatever's going on here, someone's not seeing it so clearly, and I'm telling you, there's a difference between envy and jealousy. To me, envy is a deadly sin. It is deadly. It's deadly to inspiration. It's deadly to relationships. It's just horrible. Because you're not seeing clearly. A sacred knowledge, the grace of knowledge, to see that, no, everybody is struggling with something, and I don't know how they got there. I think I know how they got there. But I think deeper is that emotional part of it. When's it my turn? There's nothing wrong with that. But opening your mind for an air sign with the storyteller archetype does make sense. I allow myself, there's a choice, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas, which usually Geminis are very open to, right? Mutable air. They're willing to see things differently, just sometimes out of boredom, right? They're like, oh, let's look into this. You know, like a bee going from flower to flower collecting pollen. I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. Conclusions is a different mantra. When your mind opens, you're no longer limited by fearful beliefs or at odds with your own healing journey. Fine, this is what I gotta go through. Fine, I'm gonna open my mind to the best of my ability. With an open mind, you are aware of a bigger cosmic picture where your personal life ushers in your highest potential by uplifting the consciousness of humanity, and that's the unity part of it. You do this for yourself, you're helping everybody come closer to truth, to see life symbolically, that we are, here's a good example, just how like white light goes through a prism and creates the spectrum of color we call the rainbow. There is only one of us here appearing to be different. So, you know, melanin, come on, right? Where are you incarnated in this life? And with whom? Come on, we're all one. Just as an example, that's opening the mind. I apologize. Was that a bit much? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. As your mind opens, life is not just centered around your personal gains and losses, but shining your light for the well-being of all wherever you happen to be, which means it's portable. You're mutable air. That's wonderful. This mantra is ideal for ending the inner negotiation with the ego, because the ego is going to be like, well, but what if we did that instead? Instead of actually doing the thing that you know you need to do. Unraveling self-sabotage and confronting the inevitability of loss, because all that rises falls. You want a really good, sane way to enter that? Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, friend of Oprah. Boom. You can find it for free as an audiobook on YouTube. Highly recommend it. I'm just afraid to meet him. I'm afraid I would pinch his cheeks because I love him so much. He's been so very helpful. This is what I call a long-distance mentor. He doesn't need to know I exist. That's just fine. So, we got a Gemini storyteller or cross-watcher opening the mind, keeping it secret, keeping it safe with some emotional stuff going on inside, and opening their mind, allowing themselves bit by bit by bit. It does not have to be a grand opening of the mind. It can just be, you know... Sorry, too much time in retail. I have retail PTSD, I think. Oops, skipped a deck. Don't want to skip a deck. No, not when it's the Whispers of Love Oracle by Angelo Hartfield. We're also using her Whispers of Lord Ganesh to help remove those 3 obstacles in between lead and gold for the storyteller. But this is the voices of the higher selves of all involved. Right? I mean, this is very solitary. High Priestess is a pretty solitary figure. So this might be all within you. No one else can choose to open your mind but you. But with that communication, there's probably other people involved. Let's see what the higher selves of all involved have to say. Keeping in mind, it might just be all you. Breathe. And I have ocean waves in the background because now people are coming home from work, so it might get a little loud outside. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, the piece of information, inspiration, insight they need to alchemize the storyteller in the 8th, 7 of Cups, jealousy on the inner, but that could be all sorts of things other than jealousy. High Priestess on the outer, opening their mind, allowing themselves to see beyond their beliefs and ideas, which I think is pretty much a Gemini prime directive. So what do you got for them? The information, inspiration, insight they need, their whisper of love, this new, full to new, November 2022. Act as if your partner is here. So this does involve somebody else, but before we go into the romantic part of this, which I'm sure is part of that, stories you tell yourself, jealousy, yeah, it's on the table. But this could be partner in all sorts of different ways, because listen to how this is worded. whether you have someone in your life or not, so that's pretty much everybody, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. So think about business partner. Think about collaboration. Think about all these different ways and the stories that go on within our own minds, within relationships. If this is romantic, yes, I will say, that is a perfect scenario for a shadow work Klusterfuck, as they like to say it in the ancient ancestry. So consider, act as if your partner is here. So look, that even goes into Gestalt therapy. If you really want to go clinical psychology, right? Go yell at an empty chair and allow that to process through you, that envy, that whatever that is that's going on inside of you. It's certainly a safe way to be there, to process that. But of course, I do not recommend that first time without some guidance, some help. And I just don't mean prayer and meditation. I mean like a CSW and MS, somebody who has training in Gestalt therapy would be helpful. Like, not just a YouTube video. You get what I'm saying? But there's all sorts of ways you could do that. I mean, I've done that talking to what I call my true love match. Don't know if I've met him yet. Might have. Don't know if he's incarnate. He might be. I don't know. But I tell him, I love you. I love the idea of you. That's enough for right now. If you're in a body or not, I love you. And we chat every now and again. It's not an all-day, 24/7, 365 thing. But even though I just told you, it's not something I talk about a lot. But, you know, it's just me and you, Gemini, and the entire fucking internet. So opening your mind, act as if your partner is here. Now, that is not a way to manipulate people. That's when you start going into, well, some people call it the left-handed path. I have issues with that word because I know a lot of people who are left-handed. I know it's not the same thing, but whatever. But, you know, that definitely can get into the manipulation, right? Telling stories that harm others, making up tales that harm others, and maybe even yourself in that. Right? Certainly if this is romantic, look beyond what you think is going to happen. Oh no, it's my twin flame, it's my soulmate, right? And they're married to somebody else. It just goes on a lot. And yeah, there's a do-si-do in relationships in everybody's life sooner or later, right? Reason, season, or a lifetime, right? People change up partners. It just happens on planet Earth. But if this is truly romantic for you, and we got a couple of more cards to hit the table, then I would say be very, very careful of the stories that you tell yourself. In fact, okay, Byron Katie. Write this name down, Geminis. You'll love it. BYRONKATIE. It's a woman. She's got this thing called The Work, which is a series of 4 questions, and something called a turnaround, that you start questioning your thoughts and you realize, oh, these are thoughts. I am the witness of the thoughts, the thinker of the thoughts, not the thoughts themselves, which will open the mind. Then you can witness them instead of living according to the stories, right? Instead, seeing through the archetypal lens of, oh, what story are you in? That's a good one. Oh, I was in Cinderella a bunch of times till I said no to the prince, right? I was like, I'll rescue my own damn self. What story are you in? Carolyn Mace, MYSS, she's a PhD. So, let's move on. Acting as if your partner is here, but you know who is here for you? Your divine animals, your totems, and your spirit animals. They're around us all the time. And I love this deck, the Divine Animals Oracle, Stacy DeMarco, because if you're going to do the shadow work, how many ancient heroic journeys has the hero descended into the underworld to embrace their shadow and came across animal guides and spirits along the way? Up now. You think Chewbacca is? Please take a nice deep breath. Although Han didn't do too much solo work, but sorry. But, you know, being frozen in carbonite, I think, is probably a shadow work experience. Please take a nice deep breath. Can't believe I just made a Star Wars reference. Still point. Oh no, the Tribble card. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, at least we're having fun with this read. Please, 1 card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers, crystal waters, la-da-dee, la-da-da. Who walks with them? Who swims with them? Who flies with them? Who crawls with them? Offering them the guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power, support, and protection they need to alchemize Storyteller in the 8th. Seven of Cups on the inner, High Priestess on the outer, opening their mind and acting as if their partner is here in the healthiest way possible, moving from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, this full to new, November 2022. You got the dolphin! I'm in it for the endolphins. It's my favorite line in Postcards from the Edge. Annette Bening! I love you. Book is, of course, better. Oh, having Carrie Fisher as a spirit guide is a true blessing. Card number 42, Happiness. It's the home of happiness. Oh, leisure-wise, I'm sure you will adapt. Enjoy your stay. Have a happy holiday. And we'll put dolphins on the map. Card number 42. If you know what that is, you better comment. Card number 42, Dolphin. Happiness. Happiness is not a continuous state, although it is a worthy feeling to seek. Know what makes you happy and do more of this. Okay. Happiness has everything to do with your reaction to life rather than what happens to you from outside sources. Exactly how you create your reality psychologically by condensing the thoughts of air into the emotions of water. And then if you act on them, and it depends on the quality of the air, depends on the quality of the water, depends on the quality of the action, and then the repercussions, because every choice has a consequence. I didn't write that rule. If you place your happiness solely in the hands of other people, then you will be disappointed. And ain't that the truth? Because it's our true state underneath it all. We're really lovely underneath it all. The Animal. I love this book. It's got so much stuff, but these readings would be 3 hours long if I read all of it. But the magic we'll look at. See that curved smile on the dolphin's face? Just Google one. You'll see it. That will give you a hint about their magic. When you feel tired and world weary, then you have forgotten what it's like to play with friends in an easy way. Or to just run free. Call in some dolphin magic to remind you. The joyful magic has been used since ancient times, and dolphins have always been seen as being an exceptional creature with happy intelligence that has been benevolent for humankind. Now look, I've never swum with a dolphin, though I am a Pisces moon, I would love to, but you know, they get a little personal. I am a Virgo, after all. No, I would go for the opportunity, as long as, you know, it was a safe environment and the dolphins were treated well. Otherwise, I'm not into it, right? But certainly that dolphin energy is, I don't want to say notorious, that's not the right word, but legendary, right? For that mana, right, of breath work, of like up and above and down into the water, and up and the mentally emotional, right? Going into those deep dives and finding that balance of happiness, a very intuitive card. No one can know what makes you happy but you, but we can certainly believe that certain things will make us happy, and we may not be seeing that clearly because of the stories. And remember, some of these stories have been passed down from generation to generation to generation about men, about women, about sex, about relationships, but they're still stories, legends, with shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace. So to bring in that dolphin energy, to get a little flipper in there, you know, side effects include dorsal fin and a spontaneous blowhole. Worth it, though, if this is a romantic thing, to tune into your own happy, no matter what anybody else is doing. And remember, Persephone is away from her husband 6 months out of the year above ground visiting mom, Demeter. But then she goes down into the underworld, which is lovely down there. The Elysian Fields are lovely this time of year. The Isle of the Blessed is just always perfect weather. Tartarus is as far below the underworld as the underworld is below this world. So let's not get it twisted. She's not in the sub-basement. No. She's in the palace. And she's holding torches. And she's with her husband. But they don't let on much of what's going on down there. The gods only knew, and probably not all of them. So to bring that dolphin energy, that joy, that happiness. I mean, I had the medicine cards by Jamie Sams when I was a teenager, my first totem animal divinatory deck. Wonderful stuff. And absolutely, it was about the breath and joy and ecstasy. That's what got me into rebirthing and ecstatic breath later on in life. So you really have some very, very powerful stuff going on for you here by opening the mind and just allowing yourself. That doesn't, an open mind doesn't mean you just let anything to fall in it either. And I think that's really what this is saying, by really pay attention to your lower 3 chakra intuition and soft of eye and light of touch. Speaky little listen much. Thank you, Doreen Valiente. Blessed be. Okay, 2 more cards left. I know these are long, but I think for a Gemini, this makes so much sense. You might want to at least see what the last 2 cards are, because we're going to remove some obstacles with the Whispers of Lord Ganesh. Hindu elephant-headed god of success and prosperity, but also known as the remover of obstacles. That is really what this book seems to be, this oracle seems to be based on. I love it, and I love him, and he loves you. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call to the beloved Lord Ganesh, Hindu god of prosperity and joy and success, and very compassionate, but can remove an obstacle with his trunk or his head or just bonking into it. So please, beloved one, what is your guidance, grace, love, wisdom, power, and oracle message to help the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, do the alchemy of the Storyteller in the 8th? There's somebody else's reason, season, or lifetime. Some emotional. They're all shook up. It's very Elvis Presley on the inside with that 7 of Cups. Whether it's jealousy or not, there's a lot going on in there. Could be emotional confusion. But with that High Priestess, to really pay attention, stay grounded, feel out those lower 3 chakras, keep it secret, keep it safe. You're going through a process here, opening your mind. Nobody needs to know about it, but they can allow themselves, help them allow themselves to see beyond their beliefs and ideas, because thoughts are just things that come and go, like weather and bloat, acting as if their partner is here in some way, shape, or form, so they can always consider them with happiness, maybe just tuning themselves into a more heart vibe to help settle down and bless some of that emotional stuff by seeing things differently. So what do you got for them? Your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message for the Gemini and the cross watchers this full to new November 2022. Splendor. I can't tell if he's in the grass. I'm sorry. I'm 54 years old. Yeah, I know. I don't look at things. Oh, I almost put the thing to the wrong thing. Splendor, card number 46. It's alright. It's got a screw on the end. It'll screw back on. I'm just not doing it during a video. That's okay. Card number 46. Just 1 page, not very long. Please take a nice deep breath. Card number 46, Splendor. Seek and honor the beauty and splendor that is within and around you. See, that's about opening the third eye and seeing the divinity or what have you. Ganesha is surrounded by beauty in this card and is calling it to your attention. I get it. Look, he got fluttered by on his finger. It's so cute. Awaken to what you are surrounding yourself with at this moment. See more deeply and be aware of the impact of your surroundings on what you create in your life. So seeing it differently, shifting the creative archetype of the storyteller to tell a different story. It's very Abraham Hicks too. Gotta admit. Ganesha urges you to let beauty penetrate into your heart. Well, after dinner and a movie maybe, you will naturally respond to this beauty by fostering more care and love, not only in your life, but also in the lives around you. And cultivating that love and that splendor could very well be triggered by acting as if a partner is there and giving yourself the time and the space to deal with all the feelings that come up as a result of that, which can be very tumultuous, tricky. Simple, not easy. But also in the lives of those around you. If your critical voice has been overactive lately, or you find that you've been dwelling on negative behaviors, take a moment to realign yourself. You arrived in this world as a unique and magnificent individual. The core of your being is whole. That's W-H-O-L-E. Just to clarify, beautiful and filled with love. We're all one at core. We're really lovely underneath it all. Again, the essence of the higher self wants nothing more or less than for you to be who you were created to be. And that's where the story part comes in. Who were we created to be? But I know one thing. In order for me to be who I was born to become in this life, destined to become in this life, my life couldn't happen any other way. And that sucks. I don't have to like it. But that's hard to open the mind to. It's still the truth. Ganesha is standing in a meadow surrounded by flowers. The flowers symbolize perfection and beauty. The variety of colors stream healing, loving energy in your direction. The butterflies, I almost said flutterbys, the butterflies symbolize the change and evolution that your soul is undertaking. The Greek word for butterfly and soul is the same thing. Psyche, which is the root of psychology and psychometry. Remember to have an awareness of your surroundings. See the splendor that is being shown to you and utilize this energy to support your own transformation. I highly recommend Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield, the book, to help you get those third eye, all three eyes sort of working together, seeing the energy field. Praise, gratitude, love, highly recommend it. Look, the truth is, I just had a conversation with someone at Halloween. We're talking about theology that, heaven is here now, heaven is at hand. And I'm like, I get it, but, you need a little third eye squeegee on that before you're ready to completely accept that. In other words, that's an experience. Otherwise, it's just words. The stories that you tell yourself that you accept, like viruses, if you want to go in the computer sense, right? It can really kind of screw things up until you clean them out. So to see clearly, really opening your mind, allowing yourself to see beyond your beliefs and ideas, to remove the lenses for a bit and just see what's there, and to experience splendor and happiness. I don't know. I think it's worth giving a shot. You do you. I don't tell people what to do. I just tell them what's in the energy. Like GPS. Let's go down. Trixie and Katya have had way too much influence on me. I'm okay with it. Remember how I said there was lead in them, they're gold? Gold and then they're lead. Strike that, reverse it. There was gold hidden in the lead. Well, there was a hidden blessing here. That's why we're going to use The Blessed Bee by Lucy Cavendish to get the blessing on the table. And it's hidden. It's there. It's just you do your best with this. And here's the potential. Do you have to cross every T and dot every I? All I know is that there's a highly individualized curriculum for each and every one of us incarnate, and yet there's only one of us incarnate, but nobody does it the same. Which is why you can't compare, and which why jealousy makes no sense from the higher realms. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the pantheons of all pantheons, a delegation from all traditions, lineages, and cultures, please, one card in clarity, beloved ones, for the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sign, and Cross Watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. What is the hidden blessing? The gold within the lead, should they just do their best, right? They don't have to grind themselves into a fine sand to do this little by little, bit by bit, right? There's something it's about opening the mind and happiness and splendor. This does not have to be working in the coal mine, going downtown. So please, your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power, your insight, so that they can have a little inspiration to alchemize this storyteller in the 8th. 7 of Cups on the inner, High Priestess on the outer, opening the mind, acting as if their partner is there with happiness and splendor this full to new November 2022. A blessing to find truth. There it is. End of reading. No, not end of reading. We do the blessings for real, and at the end of the blessing ends the reading, but then I have to release all you Geminis and cross watchers usually by letting the goofy run free, and honestly, there's nothing here that feels so very horrible. Again, it's a general read. I can't feel each individual, but the collective on the whole here. This is your gig, changing the way you think, your mutable air. You have that edge over all of the other 11 signs. Again, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have a strong Taurus placement, there might be a little kerfuffle. But let me read you the blessing. I'm ready. Are you? What number is it? Card number 25. I mean, she sort of looks like Lucy Lawless with a white raven, and what are those, lilacs? That could be Wisteria. I'm not sure, although it's a great name for a little girl, I would think. Oh, Wisteria. Get your sister Clytemnestra and Nefertiti. Card number 25, a blessing to find the truth. Here's where it gets serious. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Pantheons of the divine, please transmit. Card number 25, a blessing to find the truth. A blessing to discover the truth in a situation so you can make choices with full awareness instead of stories. A blessing on this time and on you so that the truth can be told and thus pour down upon you its unique freedoms. The truth will set you free. It will probably piss you off first. May you be blessed with knowing the truth of your own soul. Persephone on the outer. And let the transformative powers of truth bring to you the light so that what was once obscured now begins to shine, and what was once uncertain now becomes defined, sure, glittering in its certainty. Oh, that feels good. But it does say that there is cloudiness in the third eye with that Seven of Cups then. And it's emotional, and that's okay. Let the blessings of truth be your liberty now, for with truth there is a growth of wings that lift you up and beyond the current that have kept you grounded. Let the speaking of the truth bring you comfort. Let the open-hearted honesty of it cure any confusion, and let the convictions of your new knowledge bring you the rewards you are so dearly due. Let those who know you, who hear you, be healed by the contact with the purity of your words and yourself. And let no one be in any doubt as to the worth of your words. This is so Gemini and so the storyteller archetype. Except, and the quality of your character. Geez, the worth of your words and the quality of your character. There is no need to be anything except your own blessed, perfect, honest, and open self, revealed to you now as the truth of others, their motives laid bare, without adornment or manipulation or making up tales that harm others. Boom. Let this lamp of truth shine into all that was dark and unknown, both within and without, and let the words you have longed to speak fall freely and without concern from your lips. Truth shall bless you and shall bless others when you show by example the glorious simplicity of living within the power of your own truth. Live the truth of your soul, and may the souls that share the truth be blessed forever. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So let it be. Yeah, truth storm. Whoop, let him have it, but when you're ready, right? You're still finding the truth. It's a blessing you find the truth. You'll be ready, but you got to open your mind to see it. That was amazing. That was like hunka-chunka easy puzzle pieces. Did you like it? Hit the thumbs up. Help the other Gemini cross-watchers find it. Want more of me here on YouTube? Feel free to subscribe, because apparently I'm not stopping until the divine tells me to do so, and they haven't yet, so I'm going to still keep going. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link in the description box. Believe it or not, it's called Booking a Reading with Mal. What a coincidence. It explains everything you ever wanted to know about booking a reading with Mal, but we're afraid to ask. And if you want the deeper experience, the daily experience, the magic, the miracles, the mysticism, the Malcolm, Patreon. I'm the fun one. I have cool hair. I'm fun. I know what I'm talking about. And the gods always put the right cards in my hand. Why not? And we do a lot of cool stuff over there. Not just divination. We got a lot going on there. And certainly, if you're a creative, type yourself, check it out for yourself, because there's nothing like going to go Patreon on Patreon. I love you. I love you, my mutable heirs, you third housers, you self-expressors. Really wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed. Huge opportunity to bring light to planet Earth and truth to planet Earth in a time when it desperately needs it. Have at it. Good luck. Reach out if you need it. I love you without condition. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.